Carpe Sows, when hunting up in North Texas on a new property I've been hunting recently. Walking across the property, I discovered this large group of hogs that I could not see when I entered the property initially. Here I've advanced on them. That tree that you see right here, I'm going to be underneath it in order to make my shot standing in the shadow from the moon. Now here I've changed over to my rifle scope, the Pulsar Trail XP50 Thermal sight. The closest hog's only about 100 yards out, and I'm using the picture-in-picture mode, which I really like with this scope. It helps for some more precise aiming on hogs, especially on the opening salvo. So there's a lot of humidity at this point. The wind is not a problem at all, so my only concerns at this point are the hogs walking into the next pasture and making sure that there are no cattle downrange of my shots. I count about 29 of these guys out in the field. As I'm scanning back and forth, I'm also watching the background to see if there are any cattle in the tree line. All of my shots need to be towards the hogs and into the ground, with none of the hogs in the tree line itself. It's because I can't see if there are any of the cattle in the tree line, and there are cattle in this pasture. She looks like the biggest hog, so she's going to be my primary target as I do my opening shot. She goes down immediately. I missed on the second hog, and for some reason I thought it would be a good idea to try to shoot piglets. They are a tough target, and I had no luck with them today. So I'm watching all the hogs disappear into the tree lines in the distance. I spy one hog out in the open. I hit it with that shot, miss with the second shot, and get it with a headshot at 159 yards. These next two hogs gave me a lot of problems. They're at about 250 yards here. Both ended up being wounded, but only one did I manage to drop in the pasture. Now, what I don't realize at the time is that those hogs are actually a little bit further away than I thought. And so some of my shots are going low on them. Alright, so this hog is at 321 yards. And it finally goes down with a headshot. And finally, off to the right, the cattle have emerged from the woods here. All three were sows. The first came in at 220 pounds with a shot through the shoulder that dropped it in place. The second hog at 159 yards was a 130-pound sow. She was shot twice, once in the shoulder, once in the head. And the last hog at 150 pounds was shot 4 times, once in the hind leg, once in the front leg, through the neck, and then through the head. Opening up the hogs for the turkey buzzards, I was surprised to find the 220-pound sow had more than 2 inches of fat along her back, much more than I've seen recently in other hogs. Carpe Sows, my friends.